Downhill. Live! Welcome, America, to the Eric Rodney Show with Robin. Today's special guest, Clayton Townsend. Welcome, my friend.
Welcome, Clayton.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, you dressed up for the occasion, which is what I like about you.
You can't Sam, got to match the nose.
Nose is gorgeous. What's on the hat? What do you got? What's the logo?
Well,
Vipers.
I might not mention it because you said baseball's for wimps, but it's a baseball hat. My son's like baseball organization that I run. So
nice. No. I said baseball's for sissies only, as opposed to PEO. Like PEO
or pickleball.
High school,
pickleball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it goes.
That's
PEO,
where the champions
pickleball,
are.
Real winners.
Male cheerleaders, baseball. I think that's how.
Prosperity.
I play baseball.
I feel like 90% of the new pickleball players come from this show.
Pickleball
Really?
is huge in this
Everybody
show.
gets a free paddle. Eric's making wooden paddles in his
my spare
garage.
time. I do a lot of whittling. Okay, so we have this new gimmick on the show because every day is a national day in the United States. I'm very excited about today's national day. I'm sad for Robin because I assume he's never had one. But boys, today's National Chicken Sandwich Day. Oh, that's a good sandwich, Robin. Have you ever had one?
That's a very good sandwich.
I have not, and that's reason to make this the new backdrop of our
I
stream.
agree with you. Now, you're probably thinking,
Looks pretty good.
What's in a Cuban sandwich? Well, I'm going to tell you. The ingredients are ham, roasted pork, Swiss cheese, pickles, mustard, and if you're in Tampa, Florida, they throw in some salami. Does not that sound delightful?
It does.
Yes.
I can get behind that.
This is what I'm thinking, though. So there was this book called The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. I don't know if Mitch Albom wrote it. It was like 20 years ago. Everybody was into it. It was like 50 Shades of Grey without sex. And so his theory was when you go through life, there's 5 people that really touch your soul. It could be a stranger in line that you talk to. It could be a grandparent. Doesn't matter. There's like 5 people that guide your journey. And then when you get to heaven, you get to meet all 5 of them. I'm an atheist. But what I want is the 5 sandwiches that I meet in heaven. And I think this is one of the sandwiches that I've done in my life that when I get to heaven, hopefully there's one of these.
Do any of the sandwiches that you meet in heaven come from Subway?
No.
Or they're in the movie?
Yeah, can you imagine?
When I was at my mom's recently in Michigan, just to highlight this because we're talking about sandwiches. Maybe I've been out of touch, but my mom's like, you know what, we should get a Subway. And I was like, I don't know, maybe, all right. And I even thought to myself, you know what? They're not going to deliver that with Uber Eats. The $5 subs, I have to order like 10 of them, right, to get them out here.
Right, you have to show
Wrong
up.
idea. The subs are like $15 or $20 now.
Well, there's sandwich artists at Subway. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah. Well, I ended up skipping Subway because it was just too expensive. And I went to, is it Magic Mike's or Magic Mike's?
Jersey
Sub?
Mike's.
Jersey Mike's, that's it. And
you went
Well
to
played, Rodney.
whoa.
Same
You went to
thing.
a male strip club to get a sandwich? How were they?
Usually
I
go
know,
there
they're
for
wrong.
wings, bro.
it's usually wings, yeah.
Wings
And
wieners.
it was like $45 with all in
For how
2
many
sandwiches
subs?
and for 2 and a delivery. Getting
Oh,
it
in the
to us.
delivery. Oh, the delivery was
Yeah,
$35.
I mean, delivery was probably $30. The sandwiches were $15. But my point is that there are no $5 footlongs.
No, it's
anymore.
I'm very
That ship
confused.
sailed.
Subway in America is like on the sandwich spectrum considered bougie.
no, I
No,
think
it's
it's
expensive.
expensive, but
It's like $15 for a sub that used to be $5 is where I was headed with it.
well, they had to pay
Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets, number 1 sandwich. Is a hot
Right.
pocket? Is a hot
Is it a
pocket
sandwich?
sandwich though?
It's a pocket sandwich.
You
You can put it in your pocket.
All right, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
No.
But if it was inside of a pocket, it would be a hot dog pocket.
A wiener pocket.
A wiener pocket.
A wiener pocket. That's what Robin sells on the side. It's like Robin
Straight from the Philippines.
straight from the
That's correct.
The show's getting
Extra
dirty.
glaze.
Unfiltered.
Can we just go through real quick? I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but can we name the best sandwiches? I think a Cuban's up there. I think in Italian, like from like not Subway, not
Subway. Okay, because I was thinking. Okay.
like a real Italian from a real sub shop is hard.
That was Jared's choice, though. Remember?
Jared's choice. Jared's choice was
What's
small.
the Subway?
I don't know what his. No, he liked the 6-inch veggie.
Yeah. You want me to tell you a secret? If
Yeah.
you're ever looking to gamble and you don't have any money, you're dead flat broke, and you want to really roll the dice.
Yeah.
Order the tuna salad. There. A 12-inch. And just eat.
Okay, not for
And roll the
financial
dice.
gain,
Roll it.
but for your own health. You're saying
That's right. No, I'm saying if you just want to say, like, listen, you know what?
Yeah,
I used to always say to people, if you're feeling depressed and you're thinking about doing something stupid, here's something stupid. Head on over to Subway, get the tuna salad, roll the dice, just roll it.
Yeah, live a little. It's like Russian roulette. No, it's fun.
Exactly it.
Robin, you want to hit us up with a nice Filipino sandwich? What do you guys got going over there between two pieces of bread? Anything exciting?
Our sandwiches are pretty lame. Nothing really exciting.
All right,
yeah,
thank you.
we have like these little buns with raisins in them, but that's pretty much it. They're kind of.
You're making raisin sandwiches with buns?
That sounds terrible.
Yes,
Oh,
it's pretty terrible.
Get your shit together. So you've never had a Cuban sandwich, but you have a bun with raisins in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there.
You put some mayonnaise on that? Because that is a very white sandwich.
Sometimes.
That sounds bizarre.
All right,
Might be
Clayton,
racist.
you're in Texas. What do you got going over there sandwich-wise?
Man, Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah. Texas
We got
cheesesteaks.
Potbellies down here is real big.
What's in a potbelly?
A potbelly is there's a line where you order sandwiches. No, I'm just kidding. There's like probably about 14 different options you can pick from. It's kind of like a Subway, but bougie. Very, very bougie.
Nice. Okay.
But can I just say this about Potbelly? Because they have in the city. Potbelly's nice. Subway, right? You go in there, and there's always somebody that's sitting in there making calls. I don't know who they're calling. And there's there's a sandwich artist back there that's like, oh my God, I have to make a sandwich. Yes, you're a sandwich artist.
Is Potbelly to Chipotle what Taco Bell is to Subway? Is that
Good comparison, solid comparison.
Exactly.
But every time you walk into a Subway, for some reason, there's only one employee.
I know.
There's never more than one
and
employee.
one rando
from start to
making
finish.
calls.
Exactly.
You know, but at Potbelly, there's like 6 of them. It's almost overwhelming. You're like, who do I talk to? You know,
Right. Well, that's why it's expensive though. They got to pay the help, but it's nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Working there.
One pepper a person.
Huh. What do you guys feel about like a meatball sub? How do you feel about meatballs in a sandwich? It's a lot for a sandwich, I think. I mean, I enjoy them, but Robin, have you ever had
like it gets
cucumber
soggy.
sandwiches?
Oh my! It sounds like so. You've never had a meatball sub either, Robin?
I have not, but it sounds like a mess.
Oh my God! So you've had a soggy biscuit, but never a meatball.
That is correct, Eric.
You
And
were
at least
living-
I've
No, listen. We've already lost one guest. We've lost viewers because of you.
We have, Robin. You have cost us a guest.
Yeah,
Because
I knew
of
this
your
was going to
antics.
happen as we start to get. Oh, here we go. See, we have an opinion on meatball subs. Thank God.
I like meatball subs. I like meatballs.
My
I
go-to
like-
from Potbellies.
Oh, really? Well, there you go. See, meatballs.
I don't eat a ton of bread, but I like meatballs.
Bread is a problem. I've heard. I haven't stopped. What was it? Oh yeah, Robin. So yeah, I knew that once we got viewers, we were going to lose some. I just thought it was going to be me or Rodney. I didn't know it was going to be you. That's
surprise.
I always thought that we were going to end up not viewing.
right. Instead of the guy with the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses somehow
Has alienated our. Actually, believe it or not, I haven't alienated anyone yet. So both of you have cost us a viewer.
Interesting.
Actually, Robin cost us a guest. You cost us a viewer and a commenter.
Yeah. Why don't you get your shit together? You're the weak link of this whole thing.
I'm saving it for somebody
Actually,
special.
I think we're getting more viewers, just less people that want to be on the show.
Mm.
They just don't want to hear you talk about the ovens anymore, Robin.
I know. That show was brutal.
It was.
Luckily, you've picked some news stories that won't get us in trouble at all because the first two are about race. So thank you very much for this.
You're very welcome.
My favorite.
I got to tell you, this is peak journalism because we're starting off with 4 Fox News stories.
Yeah, 4 Fox.
Can I just say that tonight?
Mhm.
I just want to refresh everyone's memory. Tonight, Fox is having a Fox is having a debate. Is it a debate tonight? Is that where it's at? It's Fox? Is that on tonight? Right.
The Republican.
And which I'm sure at least 5 or 6 people will tune into. Tucker Carlson, who recently was let go, is interviewing Donald Trump.
Yeah, he's
on X. Thank God Elon hasn't decided to start a station yet.
So you're saying X is going to pull in more ratings than Fox News tonight?
That's exactly right. And here's the crazy part, right?
Probably.
It's called X.
Oh, I know. I'm
X
not
versus Fox. I love it.
Oh, that's good. That's real good. All right. Well, listen, on that same train, we get a Fox News story. It's very confusing to me, but go ahead, Robin. What's your hot take on this?
But I just wanted to say, so like normally we pick more stories from BBC, but they're too busy, like locked in having this battle with Andrew Tate. And CNN actually has real stories. Nobody really wants to listen to that, right?
Yeah, so we're right in the awful middle that is Fox News.
Yeah, what they want to hear is why Florida is isolating black kids at assemblies so that they can give them gift cards to incentivize them to pay more attention in class. Story's bananas.
The story's bananas because it doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't know. So this is what I did because I go, okay, Florida. I mean, it's a fair amount of minorities, right? So I was like, do they just pull kids out because they happen to be black? So I looked at the racial breakdown of the school. As it turns out, it's only 18% black. So I'm thinking, all right, so that can't be the case that it was just all black students. But then it begs the question, and listen, I'm not trying to explain away the racism in a Fox News story, but I'm just curious, did the kids who were underperforming just happen to be black? So they pulled them aside and was like, hey, maybe we should do better. You know what I mean? Like, does it have to be a race thing? Can't it just be a certain amount of students weren't doing well thing? You know what I'm saying?
I got to be honest, and I'm no teacher, but I fail to see the correlation with gift cards and doing better in school. I think doing better in school, you have to study.
Well, I think they would say if you study and get a good grade, then we'll give you a gift card.
Then
I got to tell you, since Tucker has left, these guys are really.
It's a stretch.
You know what they should do? They should watch his show and then just report on whatever it is he talked about.
Right.
Right.
Well, that would get ratings, but no, we have to deal with this. We have to deal with the stories that are at hand. Here's the other thing, though, is that the Super Nintendo, the Super Nintendo of this district talked to the principal of the school. The Super Nintendo is black, by the way. She talked to the principal. I don't know what color the principal is. And she walks away going, there really wasn't a story here. So I have to assume the students who weren't doing well just happened to be black. You know what I'm saying? I know I keep saying that, but it just seems like a non-story. And with the gift cards too, like you get good grades in the hope of getting a scholarship, which is money. And then you do well in college in hopes of getting a good job, which is money. So we incentivize students all the time through profit. And if that's what a gift card is, like, what is this story? I don't understand.
It says right here, when you try to think outside the box, you forget why the box is there. So did they give them Jack in the Box gift cards, or like
they may have, which is
what's in the box? Remember that? What's in the box? What's in the box?
You know who that was? Brad Pitt, national treasure. Oh man, gorgeous. So I don't know that this is necessarily a story. I dug deep. I looked at the demographics. I just can't find anything here other than some students weren't doing well. They had an assembly and said, listen, if you do better, we'll give you gift cards to Jack in the Box. And that makes national news.
Did you read the comments?
I did read the comments. I don't want to talk about the comments because it's the most racist.
I think the comments are the story.
If we pulled up the comments, they would cancel our show for showing Fox News comments. That's how fucking.
If you pulled up the comments, they would cancel LinkedIn.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, this is an excellent point. Remember Pizza Hut used to give pizzas to kids red? Oh, my God.
Book it. That's what it was called.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Man,
I had a Book It pen.
See, so we've been incentivizing kids to read and shit forever. I don't know why this is.
We've been incentivizing kids to read and eat pizza for years now. Don't go outside. Sit inside and read 100 books and just keep eating pizzas. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that only worked halfway because we're all fat as fuck, but everyone's illiterate. We were so close to getting that right.
We only got half of the equation.
Only got halfway. But
I think that resonates with Paul from yesterday. He must have took that a little too serious.
Paul read 2 books.
Yeah,
he's 8 books away from the top 10. Paul's good. He loves
Jones.
Ramona Quimby, age 8. All right. So this was a non-race story, but it segues nicely into a definitely racist story. So do you want to pick up that one there, my dear Robin?
Robin's bangs are getting very long. Are you growing your hair out, Robin?
Yeah.
No, I just moved to Manila and I still haven't found like a barber that I like yet. So I'm taking my time.
Or a store that sells clippers.
I just don't want to experiment on my own hair.
You don't have to experiment. You put on a 5, a 6, a 8, you get to it. It's pretty straightforward, cowboy. Go on.
I will try.
Okay,
so this one actually kind of reminds me of yesterday's LinkedIn lunatics. So there's this hospital executive, and he's saying that white race should be made to feel uncomfortable, and that it's also like the phrase whiteness is dangerous, and they want to actively participate in events like hosting anti-racist prayers so that white employees can apologize for their whiteness and internalized racism.
Yep. Okay.
He looks like the type of person that
he's definitely on brand. This is absolutely the kind of guy. Here's my thing with white guilt, and hear me out. This is why I don't think it works very well. If you're a racist, white guilt isn't going to matter to you, right? Because you're a white supremacist, you're racist. If you're not racist, because there seems to be two things. You are not racist. If you are racist, you don't give a fuck about white guilt. If you are not racist, what does white guilt do for anybody? You know what I mean? It seems like an empty and hollow approach to something, and I'm not quite sure what it is. And listen, I'm not trying to skirt any responsibility here, although I did do my DNA test, and I come directly from Ireland, and we didn't own anybody. I don't want to brag, but I don't think the Irish, famously, there was no tobacco farms. But do you want to see this guy's quote?
Yeah.
It says, as the head of the diversity, equity, and inclusion in major healthcare system, I think frequently as my role as a white person first and a diversity leader second. Do any of you think about life through the, like, oh, I'm white again. You wake up in the mirror like, here we go, another day in the life of a white guy.
Can I make two comments? Number one, I'll comment on this first. I think it reads incorrectly. It says, as the former head, and on that picture there, I can't take him seriously with that headset. Is he serious? I was making fun of Robin, but at least he looks like a gamer. This guy's, what does he own? His BlackBerry? Get out of here.
He's very confused.
Beat it.
I think
you missed the best part. My whiteness keeps me and my family safe.
Well, I mean,
from who? Himself?
So why is he praying about his whiteness if it keeps him safe? I'm not too sure.
Here's another thing. Why are we getting?
Can you imagine those kids in 10 years? My God.
Like, why?
They're either going to be psychopathic killers or
I don't know.
God only knows.
Here's another quote I pulled up. This is another one. So I'm white. And he's saying, the royal you share something with Darren Wilson, who shot Michael Brown, and George Zimmerman, who shot Trayvon Martin. We share the experience of living in a culture that tells us that our lives have more value just because we're white. I don't think I do. I have to take responsibility for Darren Wilson and George Zimmerman. I'm not on their team. What the fuck?
Right. Yeah, I didn't know who Darren Wilson was, but George Zimmerman, that guy was a nut job.
No, evidently it's our fault too. I mean, God, once again, I don't want to come across as racist in any way. I just don't think they're not on my team. I'm like, lock them up.
If any one person has a great take on racism, it would have to be Morgan Freeman. Have you heard his take on it?
Yeah, he's like, pretend it doesn't exist or something, right?
Exactly. So like, he's against Black History Month. He's against Black Lives Matter and white apologetic culture. Just like, don't refer to us as white people or black people. We're just all people. And then
he's a pigment pusher. He's a pigment pusher. That's what Morgan Freeman does. He every time he does something crazy or something in regards to racism, he preaches that we're all just a different pigment of orange and we're all brothers. And that's pretty much his standpoint on all the race is pigment.
Huh. Right. Here's my take on it. So I lived in South Korea when I was in my junior and senior year in high school. The military, and people don't realize this, I think, because the general, like we think it's Captain America. The military is very black and very brown, right? So it's very diverse. So my junior and senior year in high school, I hung out with a black fella named John and a half Mexican fella named Chris. And we didn't pretend that race doesn't exist. We talk shit about race all the time. We talk shit about race the way we talk shit about sports, the way we talk shit about girls. So it's not when you pretend that race doesn't exist and we're all the same and I don't see color. It's accepting it, not giving a shit, and talking shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the talking shit is the highest. It's like self-actualization. Once you're talking shit about something, you're cool.
That's when you're levitating.
Yeah.
Yes, you're levitating.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a level above, actually.
Right.
Now, you know what I think we should focus our efforts on, speaking about race, is getting rid of these taxes. But, I don't want to get anybody upset. Everybody's so worried about race. I mean, my God, I just look around and I say, all I see are taxpayers.
You're an anti-taxite? You motherfucker.
Not really. I just feel like we shouldn't pay as much. Or maybe just me.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I really can't worry myself about.
I know if I am... Fuck taxes. Here's the other thing too. Like, do black people, and we should probably have someone black on the show to answer this question. Is white guilt the thing that they would like us to partake in? I'm sure there's bigger issues like, police violence or
Could you imagine though being being a black person and this weirdo, right, is like, come on down to the cafeteria or the auditorium or wherever this goes on now, right? And he's like, I want to pray. I want to do a prayer. I want you to sit in on it. I would be like, oh my, is this guy for real?
Well, that's the other thing. Should a racism expert be
horrified.
White? I don't think white people classify as racism experts, right?
That's a good point, right? Why in the world have they got Ryan Pauly leading this organization? It don't make no sense to me. It really don't. You're right. Like, it's almost like us weighing in on women's affairs. It doesn't make any sense.
Right. He's going to move on to the women's liberation movement.
Next thing you know, he'll be teaching people how to, maybe style. I don't know. I mean, I can't see it, but maybe.
He's going to become a hairstylist? I don't know, man. Yeah.
A Dollar General stylist.
A technology expert. He's got his BlackBerry with him. Remember the IT guys used to come in and they'd be like, yo, there's a remote, and you're like, whatever. And I'm sitting with my iPhone. They're like, using an iPhone? And I'm like, yeah, you have a BlackBerry, right? They still around?
All right, so we can all still hate nerds. So that's nice. All right, we can move off of race before we get more hate mail. What do we got next there, Robin?
So this actually might apply to all of you. Apparently, everyone living in America from May 2007 to December 2022, and has used Facebook during that duration is entitled to a slice of $725 million in settlements.
Yeah.
You guys all qualify this, I think.
Yeah, I already got mine.
I already did mine.
I got
really? How much did you get?
480
you got
million.
480 million? Quick, how much did you get?
Dude, I only got 25 cents, man.
It was peanut. I don't even know. It was that Mickey Mouse amount of money. It was like $1 something, maybe. I don't know. It was peanuts.
Well, it's confusing only because they said like the deadline to sign up was August 25th, but whether you sign up or not, you're getting a check. So, I mean, this is another non-story.
Mark stops by your house in the metaverse.
He slaps you on the ass, hands you on a check
with a couple of pesos. You know what I don't understand about any of it is that what are they paying us for? What law have they broken this time? And I'm sure he made a hell of a lot more than $725 million.
Well, I can tell you, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So there's this organization that had ties to Trump and Steve Bannon that bought the personal information of 87 million Americans, and they say they used that to affect the.
Oh, is this America Britannica or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
Cambridge Analytica or some shit.
Cambridge Analytica. Yeah.
That's right.
Here's the issue, though. Okay, so they bought the personal information of $87 million. They bought it from an app developer within Facebook. So why is Facebook on the hook for $725 million? What is like one dude who sold the information?
Do they have the fella's name?
I would think so. They didn't release it in the article, but like
okay, because I was going to see if we could reach out to him. I have a couple of requests for some information.
You want to buy a list
from
the guy?
This gentleman.
But why would a single employee? Wouldn't they just sue him? Why is Facebook responsible?
Maybe because he was under corporate veil, but then they could prove that he appears to corporate. We need a lawyer. Anyone here doing any legal work?
Well, I'm sure. I mean,
that's ChatGPT.
It's not like 725 million is a drop in the bucket. So they've obviously
for Facebook. It is.
Yeah. It is. Well, I guess. So they just paid
87. Hold on a second. So let's back up. Steve Bannon, right?
Yeah.
God rest his soul. He he bought 87 million people's names. Do we know how much they paid for the data?
Right. That's a big list, right?
I mean, that is a master. That's gonna shut down a normal computer. So if he bought the data, I wonder how much he paid for it.
Right. And people shit on the power of cold email and cold outreach, but they got Donald Trump.
Apparently it works.
Yeah, apparently it works really fucking well.
Oddly enough, we think it works.
I'm just sad that Robin doesn't get a piece of the Facebook pie because you had to live in the United States, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Sorry,
sadly.
Pal. Sorry. All right, what do we got next?
Okay. Eric's third love after Elvis and Tom Brady. Hulk Hogan.
Bourbon.
Bourbon.
Oh.
Also
close enough.
Close enough. All right, what's going on with Hulk Hogan?
So he's now sharing his details. He's become more open. You know, kind of like how celebrities become much more open when they age and they talk about like all the shit that they've abused in the past. This is kind of what Hulk Hogan's going through. So he's admitting the fact that he had a painkiller addiction after having 25 surgeries. I'm guessing this is something to do with his WWE business.
No, this is quilting.
Hulk Hogan's quilting habit has him all fucked up on Vikings. Man, I'm telling you, these people sacrifice their bodies and their lives to give us entertainment. Professional wrestling, as you know, I'm a graduate of Killer Kowalski's School of Professional Wrestling. There's my professor right there.
There he is.
May he
looks pretty pissed. That wasn't him smiling, is it?
Yes, the man never smiled. The man did not drink. He was a vegan and only wore blue and purple because he thought like red is an evil color. By the way, you know how I always say that I went to the Harvard of Professional Wrestling School? Well, here's Killer Kowalski with Triple H and Killer Kowalski with China. Remember her? Big.
Whoa.
Yeah, right.
Let me ask you a question.
Triple
Doesn't
H had a
Triple H
mullet?
run? But doesn't Triple H run? He runs the WWE now, right? Because
He does.
Vince got fired or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is
So
what
he's not a legend. He is the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Triple H.
me and Triple H had the same.
Triple H, oddly enough, I know quite a bit about him. He is a savant when it comes to business. He was on Tim Ferriss's podcast numerous times. He owns a ton of businesses and makes a ton of money.
Triple H does.
Yeah. He's
Look at
he's
Sarah
like a really
Fawcett hair,
good businessman.
Look at that. Is that a Brazilian blowout? I mean, it's gorgeous.
Wait, Triple
China-
H is huge, and Killer Kowalski looks a lot bigger. What the heck?
Kowalski was a fucking giant. I think it was 6'7".
Yeah,
He doesn't look like he has a
5'2",
neck though.
No,
He's all head.
He
yeah,
looks like Thumb.
he's a big boy. It's like,
Robin's like, Robin, if a
Just
man's
sitting
name is
there.
Killer Kowalski, he's usually over 6 foot tall.
Probably.
yeah, it's hard to be 5'4" now, Killer.
I'm writing that down.
Because we would be like, where is he? Oh my God, Clayton stepped on him. Then you say to him, you sitting or standing?
I'm sitting.
Clayton, how old are you?
I'm 28.
All right, so you didn't live through the Hogan era, which is too bad because it was the golden age.
This
of
guy
professional
did.
wrestling. Yeah, I was going to ask Rodney, were you a Hogan guy?
I was a Hulkamania.
Well, yeah, you were a Hulkamaniac.
Yeah, Hulkamania, that's right.
Right. So I was more of a Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior guy. Although I got to say, I mean, against Hogan, but my persona was built on the idea of like bad guy professional wrestlers. So like Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude.
You were a heel.
I am a heel. Later in life, though, I came to worship Shawn Michaels, and I think we can all agree.
Oh
on that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my boy right there.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was my guy. Stone Cold
Steve Austin.
I was
Yeah.
always a fan of Razor Ramon. Remember him?
I loved Razor Ramon.
He had a real spice of life to him with the toothpick. I loved it.
Something happened to this gold essay. Something's going to happen to you. Yeah, man. I don't know. It was a golden age of professional wrestling, and all these guys are all either dead or they kill somebody or they're all Viking and out. It's too bad.
Or they were doing Disney movies.
Or they're doing,
Like
or
Rock.
yeah,
Like The Rock. Yeah.
you get a brain.
He used to be hysterical when he would be like, "Listen up, jabroni."
The Rock shit talking is arguably the greatest thing that's ever happened
he was
on
great.
television. Oh my God, he's
A
good.
multifaceted, talented man. He can work out, or lift weights. He can make us all giggle, and he can wrestle.
He can play the same character in every single movie, which is
And Ballers, he was in the show Ballers, which I'm rewatching. He was exceptional, and he was not a goofball or doing stuff with children.
Have you had his tequila? Tremana, I think it's called.
No, I haven't had it.
It's my go-to tequila. Not for drinking straight, but if you're gonna mix anything, it's right there in the middle between. It's not dog shit. It's not Cuervo, and it's not super expensive. But it's smooth. It's nice. Everybody go get Tremana. He needs the
The
work.
Rock actually has good tequila.
He fucking does have good tequila.
He also has really
has
good
an
Under
energy
Armour
drink,
stuff too.
Oh, his Under
Yeah,
Armour
and
stuff
he
is
also
great.
has an energy drink company.
I mean, I don't think he's doing anything with it, but Under Armour is pretty good stuff, and I like him. So
I guess the point is professional wrestling's done a lot for this world, and it just continues to give. But I do feel, here's the thing too. So Clayton, you're sober. It says in the article that Hulk Hogan got sober at 70. Like, why would you get sober at 70?
70. How old is he now?
70.
Jesus,
He got
okay, so
sober
this
like
was last
12
week. He got turned it around. Got
He
it.
hasn't had a drink this week, so it's like, I'm sober. Don't you think sober at 70 is a little, I don't know. Why don't you just ride out this alcohol thing? How much longer? Like, what do you got? 5 years left?
Is that his thing, alcohol?
It evidently had many things.
Because it was Vicodin in the beginning. Now it's alcohol.
Didn't he shut down? He shut down the Drudge Report or something, right? Because he sued
No,
them.
no.
What was
He
it?
shut down Gawker. This
Gawker.
is what happened. Gawker published a video of him from Bubba the Love Sponge, which was a radio host, I think, in Charlotte. And they were friends of him having intercourse with
Oh, I remember
Hogan
that.
having intercourse with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife.
Yeah.
Hold on, plot twist. I listened to this whole book. Peter Thiel, who's a psychopath and a billionaire, decided that he wanted to take down Gawker because they outed him as being gay. This is true. I'm not making any of this up. And he went to Hulk Hogan and said, we can take these guys down, excuse me for saying this, but down to Chinatown. And that's exactly what he did. He literally bankrupted Gawker. It got so bad that the guy that wrote the story, they came to his house and were like, we want your rice cooker. They took everything. There's a movie about it on Netflix. It's like Truth in Media or something like that. And they interview the Gawker guys. But he paid like 15 or 20, and nobody had a clue who funded this lawsuit.
Oh my God.
Because they knew it. Like, he had the best lawyers money could buy. And everyone was like, who funded this? And then Peter Thiel slipped one day and said that he funded it.
Up to this point, I thought the greatest tag team of all time was the Mega Powers, which was Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. But as it turns out, the greatest tag team of all time was Hulk Hogan and Peter Thiel. That's exactly right. What a plot.
And the crazy part is that Peter, and from what I understand from the book, and I don't know this firsthand, they never really talked.
Hogan and Thiel?
Yeah, they just Thiel wanted to destroy those guys, and he
needed Hulk Hogan's help to do it.
And he used Hulk to do it. They Hulkamania'd him.
What a beautiful story that is. I had no idea.
There's an entire book about it. It's good. And it's really good. It goes into detail.
Oh, God bless him. Okay. Well, listen, we learned a lot about Hulk Hogan today.
I like Hulk.
I hope his sobriety lasts and he's his next 2 years of life are enjoyable.
Is he still wrestling?
He ain't wrestling. It's tough to wrestle at 70.
Just to speak about wrestling real quick. You know my favorite wrestler of all time was the Nature Boy.
Ric Flair?
Yeah, he was amazing.
Woo!
I love that guy.
Robes. If society would allow me to wear those robes in public, I do it all the time. I mean, that is a good.
I thought he was the cat's pajamas when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I thought he was amazing. I wanted to be him.
I always wanted to be. I guess I wanted to be a male stripper in a lot of ways. It just never quite worked out. There's still time. I wanted to be.
For me, with him, it was just a shit talking I loved.
Yeah.
Ric Flair was just a shit talking.
He and the Rock.
Mullets are back in action too.
Who is?
Yeah.
The mullets are back in action as you're
starting to get more modernized.
Robin's got one.
I could pull up the shot.
Unintentionally.
No, Ric Flair was great. I like Flair. I like The Rock, Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels.
Oh yeah, those guys were all stars.
The Ultimate Warrior too. I was a fan of his, even though
good. Macho Man.
Oh, Macho Man. Yeah. All right. What do we got next? Because we got to get to the Clayton PO segment of the evening.
Yeah. So I know I should.
We're going to lob PO questions at Clayton. I've got a few here, Clayton. A couple of them from a couple of lawyers here that want some clarification.
Shaking like a leaf in the wind about that.
What do you got? What's the next story?
So I know I shouldn't be happy about this, but I kind of am. Apparently, theft is becoming a major problem for stores like Dick's Sporting Goods and Macy's. And they're blaming like their horrible financial reports primarily on theft. Honestly, these fucking retail stores just deserve it at this point. Like, if you're going to give all these stupid policies where your employees get fired when they try to prevent theft, this is what fucking happens. People steal.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. Wow. That is this is a culmination of your opinion is a culmination of stories that we've done, which it didn't occur to me. But okay, so here's the thing. They call theft shrinkage now in the retail business. Did you know that? So shrinkage is
I think they always have. They called it that at Lowe's when I was just a boy.
Oh, really? I had no idea. Okay, so evidently Dick's has had a 23% drop. But they're still up year over year. Home Depot is down 33%, which is shocking because every time I go to Home Depot, it's fucking packed. But
that's a lot of shrink.
Yeah, that's a lot of shrink. But like, okay, what the fuck are you stealing from Home Depot? Like, a lot of that shit's big. And why are you stealing stuff? There's a lot to discuss, but real quick before we answer those questions. Experts in the industry say that most of the thieving has to do with these 6 items. You ready? Medication, which is really fucked up. Baby formula, which is equally fucked up. Laundry detergent, which is also awful. Now it kind of falls off. Then it's ink cartridges, meat, and cosmetics. Help me out here. Medication, baby formula, laundry detergent, ink cartridges, meat, cosmetics. Can you find those at Dick's Sporting Goods?
No.
Can you find that at Home Depot?
No.
Okay. Can you find it at Macy's?
No.
So what the fuck is going on? These are the stories that all of them.
But when I see people stealing in those videos, I got to be honest. None of those items it's always Louis Vuitton bags.
Yeah, it's never a flash mob for diapers. I agree with
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah, so I don't know what to believe in this story.
Yeah,
the CEO of Walgreens came out and was like, everyone's lying. People don't steal that much. So
I went into a Walgreens recently and everything was behind plastic.
Yeah, razors especially. And baby formula.
But I just laugh and giggle and say, guys, I order my razors online. Right. Joke's on you.
Yeah. Dollar Shave Club or Harry's.
Right, yeah, Dollar Shave Club. They won me over with that wonderful commercial many years ago.
Me too. It was my very favorite viral commercial. But it begs okay, if you're the leader of a country and the top 3 things getting stolen are medication, baby formula, and laundry detergent, isn't that indicative of a larger issue as opposed to just people like to steal?
Yeah, babies like to eat, and you got to wash the clothes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't want to. Yeah, if you can't afford a child, maybe don't have one. I mean, that's it's going to cancel. But also, if people are stealing baby formula, maybe it's too expensive. Maybe the economic situation in the country is not great. We should improve on it. It's just sad. But again, what is
somebody needs to wake up Joe Biden and tell him we need some free stuff, Joe.
Exactly, Joe. Thanks, Obama. But honestly, what are you stealing from Dick's? Anybody? What do you steal from Dick's Sporting?
Kayaks.
A kayak.
A bow and arrow.
I gotta tell you a quick story about Dick's. So I went in there one time and bought something, and the guy couldn't get the thing off, or maybe he didn't take it off. I don't know whatever happened. And I go to walk out, right? And the thing goes off. They have 2 sets of doors, and the thing goes off to the first set. So I turn back around and go. And the guy goes, no, you're okay. And I said, no, the thing. So I go out again, and it goes off again. There must have been like some security guard outside. He comes running over to me. He's like, what's going on? What's going on?
You stealing a kayak?
I should have just ran.
You should have. Oh, speaking of,
I paid. I was like, I don't know, this thing's on there. He's like, oh, we can get it off.
You didn't have to pay though, because according to this article, 32% of adults have admitted to shoplifting. That seems high.
You know what I don't understand though? I think this is what I think the problem is, and I'm not a shoplifting expert. I'm just brainstorming here. I think in the recent string of incidents that we have seen is that they like I always find it. You ever see the kids and they're like crying in the back and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Susie stole that lipstick!" Right? Don't worry with that stuff. Just take off. Just run.
Yeah.
Right? Go. Even if the police are after you, if you're not in the car, I think you're safe. Because
I think so too.
Like the kid in the blue jacket, the jacket's disappeared. I don't even know what you're talking about, officer. I haven't seen them. You know what I mean?
I like that you thought a lot about this.
You know what I'm saying? You always see the kids and they're like, like what I have learned from these videos is you have to run.
Right. And keep
going.
Yeah.
That's right. Steal a car perhaps, but get out of there.
Nowadays they got secret shoppers.
Oh,
that's
to
the
catch you
big thing.
shoplifting?
Is like, dude, I got tattoos, and so like I walk around and go like to Walmart per se and get stuff for my kids or whatever, and dude, I'll turn around and they will follow me, and they're to the point where they're like ducking behind stuff, and I'm like, dude, it's not that serious. I already seen you. Like, you're caught.
Are the tattooed known to be shoplifters? I didn't know that was a thing that you guys do.
No,
I don't know.
I've always. Can I just give my opinion on it? When I see someone that has a lot of tattoos, I think to myself, they're not poor. That's expensive stuff. I have a couple of tattoos. I mean, tattoos are expensive, especially when you have a lot of detail. Like, I'm not being a jerk, but most poor people I know don't have extensive ink.
Right,
expensive.
That's a very good point. Interesting. Yeah. So I don't know. Oh, the total losses in 2021 that they blame on shoplifting, $94 billion.
At Dick's?
Well, just in the United States. That's how much.
I was going to say, my God, I didn't know.
That's a lot of
kind of money. That's a lot of kayaks.
That's a shit ton of money. Way more kayaks than any one person needs, I would imagine. All right, well, we have one last story.
I don't know how long this story is going to be, but it's just I'm just bringing up the story because it's confusing to me. Everything I know about baseball is from you two, and I know Clayton is a fan of baseball, so you can chime in as well.
Clayton hates baseball.
Please hate it. Please clarify to me why the greatest team of all time apparently is on a losing streak for 40 years.
The Yankees?
Yes. The Yankees. Okay,
so you know they're
40
bad.
years. What in the world is he talking about?
No,
we won some stuff a couple of years back.
It's Derek Jeter, A-Rod. I mean, that's the dynamic duo back in the day.
So they're not on a 40-year losing streak. They're on the worst losing streak in 40 years.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
but hold on a second. Has anyone spoken about the Mets?
Or they had World
Series teams
the Pittsburgh
and
Pirates
had to sell them off. I don't know what in the world's going on over there.
Well, you know what's fucked up? It did. You know the number 1 and 2 highest payrolls in baseball?
The Mets and the Red Sox.
No. It's the Mets and the Yankees. Here's the thing. I hate the Yankees, but I don't take any joy in them sucking because I think baseball is better when the Red Sox and Yankees are good. And right now we both suck.
Remember when that happened?
Oh my God.
Push down the old man.
So Robin, I know you weren't around.
Pedro did that.
But that's Hall of Fame World Series champion Pedro Martinez, and big fat Don Zimmer decided during a bench clearing brawl he was going to go after our star pitcher, and he ended up on his big fat head. Isn't that adorable?
Don Zimmer is a legend in baseball. Pedro Martinez is cockfighting in the Dominican Republic now, literally.
So to sum up, Eric, this is the most interesting that's happened to baseball ever.
There was there's two different periods where baseball was great. It was the home run race between Sosa and McGuire, and they shut that down because they were both on steroids. And then 03 and 04 with the Yankees and Red Sox, they'd frequently kick the shit out of each other. They get into
all the time.
It was great. It was unbelievable. And now I didn't miss an inning back then. I haven't watched an inning in 5 years. I don't give a fuck about baseball.
Do the Red Sox, are they still a team?
Yeah.
Are they still around?
Somehow. The Yankees and Red Sox are in 4th and 5th.
I got to be honest. When Steve Cohen bought the Mets, I said, you know what? God bless the Yankees. He might buy them as well. And I do not understand what in the world happened this year with the Mets. And I don't even like the Mets.
Right.
I'm a Yankees guy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Stacked. They had 7 world-class Hall of Fame pitchers. And they had to
Verlander.
Mm-hmm. Did they just
Max Scherzer or whatever the hell his name is? Yeah. Needlegrass or not a grass or whatever that fella's name was. They got rid of him. Mm-hmm. They had some other fella. And it never ends. At least we have Aaron Judge.
Well, Jarrett Cole, you got the Jarrett Cole that came from Houston also to the Yankees. He was a tank, and they don't utilize him at all. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of silly.
I think Brian Cashman has to go. I think he needs to go, and I think Aaron Boone needs to.
Aaron Boone is definitely going. Yeah, they need a scapegoat, so he's gone. So Clayton, who's your team?
The Astros.
The Vipers.
That must be real nice.
The Vipers, man.
I like it.
No, the Houston Astros. Dusty Baker, dude. He's one hell of a GM. There's no one that can.
You're having a Patriots-esque run right now over in the old Major League Baseball. I mean, not as good as the Patriots, obviously. Nobody is, but yeah, you're doing all right.
What about the Pittsburgh Steelers, though?
Who gives a shit about the Steelers?
More rings.
Do the Pittsburgh Steelers have a new quarterback? I'm not being funny. I'm asking. Roethlisberger's gone, right?
Yeah, it was Trubisky last year, wasn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, the Steelers and the Patriots are in the same. We're going to suck for a long time now.
I used to want to make
we're going to suck for a long time.
$1 trillion, which I'm on my quest to do, and buy the Pittsburgh Steelers and name them the Dinsmore Steelers. I'm serious. It's a heart attack. Gary Vaynerchuk's dreams about the Jets. Mine's about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm going to change the name
to the Dinsmore Steelers. That's the greatest things I ever.
That's awesome.
I love it.
The Dinsmore Steelers. That's good. All right, Clayton, do you want to talk about your journey, or do you want to do LinkedIn Lunatics? I'll let you pick the next segment.
Let's do LinkedIn Lunatics.
I love Lunatics.
And so Clayton, this is a fresh batch of LinkedIn Lunatics directly from Reddit. These aren't as deep diving. Yesterday we had penis surgery, we had dead grandmothers, we had transgender and racism. This is a little lighter. This one, all right. So the guy goes, I turned 44 years old today. Here's the best wisdom I can share. Hello, 44. Listen, it's goofy, but the fucking title, who cares, you egotistical nobody, is one of the greatest insults.
Can I just say this? So this guy, like, his head is like a perfect shape.
Literally.
Right?
Yeah. Like if you were drawing a person.
So perfect.
Yeah, it's
like his hair.
It's a nicely shaped. He's very symmetrical. And
got a good nose pocket. I mean,
yeah, no,
it looks like a hot pocket. You know what we find funny? And people are like, I turned something today, right? I try to give, like, I would never be like, here's 45 things I've learned. Nobody gives a shit.
No one gives a shit. He's an ego.
Unless it's like rule number 1, type this in the computer and you'll make $1 million. No one cares. Read it.
The other thing too is, as an adult, if you're still going hard on your birthday, I don't know what to think about you. It's an odd, like, all right, after 21, calm down with that shit. I get the big ones, 30, 40, 50, sure. 44? You're a grown man. Stop celebrating that you're 44.
What time are you guys headed out to Chuck E. Cheese to go see Carl's Cheese?
Happy birthday. You're gonna go to Applebee's and get you free fucking molten lava cake. Oh god.
They should be playing bingo at this point, you know.
Whoa.
That's right. Or pickleball. As soon as you turn 40, you get a free paddle. Get on in here.
Phil Putnam is an egotistical nobody.
Yeah, it looks like it. Sorry, Phil.
So now old people are also not safe on this show.
No, it's oh my god, you guys think 44 years old? Oh, that's sad. Me and Rodney are pretty fucking old. All right, what's this one? Oh. Okay, hold on. All right, so last week, my econ professor asked me, Jack, would you rather take $10 million now or receive $10,000 per week for the next 50 years? Without batting an eye, I said neither. I'd rather pay you $10,000 a week. Shocked, he replied, that's insane. No economic model would suggest you do this. And he goes, insane? Not at all. If I give you the money, I lose my drive. I go soft. I might as well roll over and die. If I give you the money, it makes me hungry. Makes me grind more. I have to hustle. The only thing insane is that more people don't think like me. Hashtag lions don't concern themselves with the opinions of sheep. Bang.
What?
Bang, bang.
This guy's a maniac. I think his name's Jack Rains. He's hysterical.
This guy is out of control.
Yeah.
I can't
really
tell
funny.
if this is satire.
I think it's satire, but he's funny, right? It's
I don't
funny.
know, but whether it's satire or not, it's beautiful. It's
really good.
it's everything LinkedIn aspires to be.
It's like those ones where it's like, I was late today for an interview because I had to help a dying dog in the street. I got to the interview and they said the boss wants to meet you, and it's the dog. What? How did you find me, Sparky? You know what though? That story used to be so unrealistic to me. But I'll tell you something, Clayton, you don't even know about. There was a man in Japan who has spent $20,000 plus on a costume where he looks like a real dog, and his lady friend recently took him out, or his handler, I should say, took him out. Now, oddly enough, you could run over him, not kill him, and he'd be the boss. So I used to think that story was completely insane, but it could be if you're in Japan. Yeah, it could be.
All right, I'm pretty sure this guy was just making fun of LinkedIn, but this next guy definitely isn't. This is our friend Gary Vaynerchuk. So Gary, of course, he's just so he's tired of society making kids think they need to know what they want to do at 18, 22, 25, 30. 18 to 30 should be an era of testing and tasting ideas, concept, hypothesis. We put way too much pressure on youngsters to have figured it out. And when he says kids, he means people under 35. They need to try stuff, get new jobs, meet new people, live in new places, try side businesses, ideas, and art. We need to live humbly, but it leads to a high percentage chance of happiness. Okay, so yes, to this guy's point, you just need to stop feeling the economic pressure of the world and do whatever the fuck you want, right?
I have a question though. I just curious. I was always baffled me. Is this like one of those Leonardo DiCaprio lectures on the environment when he flew here? Or because I'm just looking at Gary's there and it says, don't be worried about making money, but he's the chairman, VaynerX, CEO, VaynerMedia, VFriends. I don't even know what that is. Co-founder. I mean, it don't end.
And he's about to drop a shoe with Reebok. He just
right. What is Gary up to? Is Gary working?
And he famously wants to buy the Jets, right? And doesn't he go?
He does yard sales on
Saturday. Yard selling on the weekends. So for a guy that just doesn't really care about making money, he sure makes a shit ton of money.
That's my point. I have a question. If you were at a yard sale, right? Because they're always like, "Oh my God, who's this guy?"
Yeah.
If you were at a yard sale and a camera crew showed up with you with a guy in a $200,000 Range Rover, and he's like, "I want to buy all your Pokemon cards," you would be like,
I think
50 cents, Gary.
I think
I'd be like, it's going to be $200,000, Gary Vaynerchuk's in the truck. I'm going to need that too. Thanks, boss.
Yeah. Here's the thing too. Who is paying for my lifestyle if I'm 35, but I'm just exploring with ideas and art? Does anybody know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do we know if Gary V came from a well-off family?
Gary Vaynerchuk's family owned a liquor store, and he started making these wine videos.
Yep.
And that's how he became famous, was wine TV.
Yeah. So evidently his father was an immigrant. He worked at the liquor store, then bought the liquor store, and then Gary opened up the website and increased they were making $3 million. He brought them to like 30 million.
Gary invented websites.
Gary invented websites and YouTube.
We had a guy Chuck on here that invented SEO.
Gary Vaynerchuk invented websites. Yeah. I just, when these rich people start handing out advice, like when Kim Kardashian came out, and she was like, people just need to work hard. You got famous because your parents were famous and you put out a sex tape. Like, God bless you. I'm not criticizing, but stop telling people.
I think we misunderstood what she said. You have to work hard at putting out a good sex tape, Eric. You missed it. Man. They don't always give you the wisdom. Tony Robbins says that you have to come up with an idea. He doesn't tell you have to come up with an idea to get people to pay $1,000 to sit in a room and for him to talk to you.
That was his idea. So he came up with a good idea.
That's right. So Kim was saying, work hard. They put out a good sex tape.
Oh, fuck.
They edited it. It's all editing.
I misread that entire thing. I'm so sorry.
I know. I did too. But I thought about it. I said, how did Kim get famous? It wasn't her good looks. It wasn't her intelligence.
No. It was who did she? Ray J was the guy, right?
Ray J.
Ray J.
Wasn't he Brandy's brother? Or
Brandy's brother, yes.
Brandy the singer, yeah.
Oh man.
Almost doesn't count. I remember that one.
It was good shit.
Remember The Boy Is Mine with her and Monica? That was another classic from the 90s. Yeah.
I miss that whole genre. Like I love early 90s or late 90s, early 2000s rap predominantly because Ja Rule always had like Ashanti. You know,
Murder.
Oh,
I have a question though for you. Is what exactly happened to them to all of these
I don't know.
singers? They retired, or I mean, I know Ja Rule's doing fire festivals and operating Bitcoins, but
well, who died?
Fire Festival 2's out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Billy, he's bringing it back because he owes him $30 million. He's going to try to make it work.
You're gonna make the $30 million back. You're gonna pay a little back taxes.
You know, I used to watch that show. Just to touch on a point really quick, I used to watch that show Shark Tank, and Mark Cuban had a famous line, two of them actually, and they said, "Mark, you don't wear a watch," and he goes, "Who's going to leave without me?" That's a good point, Mark. The other one is that who wouldn't take his call?
Exactly.
Now let's inverse that. Who's going to take Billy's call?
Yeah, that's a good point. Always one step ahead. All right, so listen, we killed 50 minutes on the stupid bits. Clayton, do you want to talk about what you're doing, who you are, what's going on in Texas?
Sure, man. Sure. What's going on in Texas? It's hotter than shit here, and we haven't had rain for about 3 months. So we're on a water conservation where we're only allowed to water a yard twice a week and drink water when they tell us to drink water. Pretty much what it goes down to.
Wow. Are you from Texas?
Yeah, I'm from Texas. Yeah, born and raised here.
Where are you at in Texas? In Austin?
No, sir. I'm outside of little Chicago called Houston, and it's a little suburb called Tomball, Texas, where everybody knows everybody, and you can see a cow mating with another cow at your local Tomball Walmart.
Wow,
so it's pretty much. What do? I work in the PEO space for CoAdvantage. That's how I kind of linked up with Rodney, and that's how I'm sitting on this podcast. As far as getting your lawyers involved with the PEO space, I'm not the man for that because I'm still learning.
Questions. Do you know Title 378521? I'm messing with you.
Out the window.
I used to have people get on the phone with me back in the day, though, Clayton. They would be like, "My lawyer said Section 37." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" What? Yeah, it's insanity.
Dude,
all right, so you've been in PEO for how long?
4 months.
That's his.
Get out.
4 months.
It's terrible.
I came from doing restaurant tech, SaaS sales. Was in a corporate-wide layoff where I had to provide for my family. So I ended up going out to the oil field to Casper, Wyoming, working out there as a crane operator, running pipe into the ground and drilling for oil. It was sucked ass. And,
it sounds like it sucks ass, yeah.
They would never give me a time to come home. I was usually, when you get into the oil field, it's like 21/7s or 14/7s. And I just had a Monday to Friday schedule, and I couldn't come home.
But you stay there. Is that right? You stay at the oil field, or you come home to sleep?
Well, a little bit of both. You would work 21 days on, come home for 7 days, 21 days on, so on and so forth. But they call it a hitch.
So you have to stay there for 21 days. Is that right?
Yeah, you live on site. You live in a doghouse, pretty much. It's like a giant, like a redneck mobile home, but with just crummy.
Is there food? Like they provide your meals, or you have to take care of this?
It depends on where you are. So, like, when my first assignment, I was in Midland, Texas, down in the Permian Basin, and there. They don't provide much of anything except for a headache and a way out. You know, they don't do much for you. So and on top of that, like, if you don't know what the hell you're doing or know how to read a map, you're fucked. It's because you don't know how to get to the rig, because all you're doing is they give you a coordinate and you go to that coordinate and you're 40 miles off a main road where rattlesnakes are snatching birds out the air.
Jeez.
And, all you're doing is really just eating ramen noodles and mackerel, and
that sounds tough. Yeah. I gotta be honest with you. I was a Boy Scout. I can't read a map to save my life, but if I have some sort of machine and it tells me, I can do it. Or like
So what would you do once you? All right, so you hit the coordinate, and then what do you do? Is it manual labor?
What goes on? Do you know how do you know how to get the oil? Where is it? In the ground? What do we do now?
Well, you just kind of like get your phone out and click on YouTube and just tell it go, or maybe good old Rodney, just chat GBT it, just tell him, dude, how the fuck do I get oil?
Then chat GBT tells you, wow.
No, Pretty much, dude. Once you get to that coordinate, you come to an end of a road, and then if it's a good rig, they'll have little signs that tell you with arrows where to go. And so you're driving.
Right. So they have everything set up.
Yeah. So I was working for BPX, and pretty much I was there down in Midland for about 4 or 5 months, and then my rig blew up. Yeah,
you mean like blew up out of the ground?
Boom, dude. I mean, I'm talking about some serious shit, and I'm like, so that was my.
How does that happen? What was going on down there?
So, dude, it was it's a lot of meth heads running loose, dude. That's how it goes down there. They're no sleep. It's if you're in the oil field, you're a fracker, either you're going to be really, really, really successful at what you do if you do it correctly and you make a shit ton of money. B, you get introduced to the lifestyle of frackers and being on the road. So there's a lot of infidelity, drug use, drinking, because there ain't nothing else to do. You're in the middle of BFE nowhere. So you just get high and talk to the snakes. You know, that's pretty much what goes on there. And so the water pump house, pretty much they had so much pressure in the line, in the water pump line, that it backflowed too much. Boom! Sent the doghouse like 60 feet up in the air. And we had to shut down the rig because of a faulty, I guess, OSHA inspection. So we shut down for 3 weeks.
They need a PEO.
Listen, a PEO won't write that, sir. It's too much risk. And so pretty much came home, got sent back to Wyoming in negative 35-degree weather, working 16-hour shifts. And my wife just called me one day. It was like, look, dude, you need to come home. I can't just do this shit on my own. And I can't see you one day a week. It's not going to work. So I got on a bus. I rode a bus home 36 hours to Houston, and I started blasting resumes out, on a hope and dream. A dude named Ron Kabowski gave me an opportunity over here at CoAdvantage, and I looked past everything that I had in the background side, and it gave me an opportunity, and I just kind of haven't looked back since because the money's where I need it to be. And I like the challenge of it, but at the same time, if I said it was fucking easy, I'd be a liar. It's very, very, very hard, and it takes a strong-minded individual to even attempt to do something like this, because you got to make people believe that their business, their payroll, and their employee benefits or whatever it may be is in the best hands, like Allstate. Right. And prove to them that you're the baby Jack, that we're the jack of all trades, and we can handle anything that you give us. And that's the hardest fucking part, especially with a guy that looks like me. Big nose, wearing a Viper's hat,
They don't trust the toucan shirt or whatever. One of those parrots.
No.
I got to tell you, that was one of the wildest 7 minutes on this show. We went from meth heads talking to snakes in the desert to what you're doing now. That was good.
I like it.
It's
PEO is not easy. One thing I'll say I like about PEO, and I've liked from the beginning, is that you get to see the inner workings, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, Clayton. You get to see the inner workings of so many different companies. Right, like some of the people we have as clients, I was like, I don't even know like how they make money doing this, whatever it is. Like you would never think of like some of our clients, they do things I would think aren't even real. I'm not saying they're not real, but it's like just some of the stuff I was like, wow, I never even think someone did that,
Right. I would say that it gets a little intimidating, but I think the most intimidating part about it is not even on the PEO side. It's on the employer side. When you start talking to HR managers or operation managers and stuff like that, they feel threatened, like we're there to take their job. So they start, and a lot of times it does happen, especially when you get that census back or a payroll report or something like that. And the CEOs or CFOs realize where their money's going and where there's not going. That may happen. But a lot of the times we're really just there for support and guidance the whole way through. And we're not there to chase or replace. We're just here to, hold your hand and let you know that we're going to help you. And a lot of people don't understand that thought because they don't even give it a chance to even work. That's really the hardest part of it.
All right. Well, listen, we have a minute left. You want to plug anything before you go? You were great today, by the way. Thank you for being on.
Dude, this is fun. So I like to do stuff like this and like to have a little fun, especially when some controversial shit. Because on the other side, people think I'm soft as a Target pretzel, but it ain't happening, dude. I like to have fun and keep it cool. But I appreciate y'all for having me, and And Rodney, look, dude, I pay 20% on deals. You send them my way, we gonna get you paid. Don't forget about me, dude.
See, I like that. That's good. Doing a little business.
like
That's a great plug.
All right, we should cut off before LinkedIn cuts us off. So goodbye, America. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a lovely evening.
God bless you.